right. This is ScareTalk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Jam Session Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
And we have, you can't really tell what that is in the background, but it is a album cover for the band of Mice and Men. And we are fans of that band, and we just happen to know somebody who has been doing their music videos recently. And he's been on the show before as a horror short writer and director. And that is Mike Matsui.
What up?
Mike is back. Good
Wow,
to see you.
Good to see you guys too.
Yeah. So if you don't know, if you didn't see the previous episode, it was like a couple years ago at this point, I think. Mike has done 2 horror shorts. Are they both on YouTube at this point?
So yeah, the first one's on YouTube,
Okay.
both published by Deformed Lunchbox. And the second one though was they actually altered it. They turned it into like a short form horror, like kind of like more of a clickbaity kind of horror short. And then the rest of it hasn't been released. I plan on releasing that myself. It's like the director's cut, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah. Cool. So that's You're on Your Own, Kid and Xander. So
right.
Look out for those. You may have seen them at film festivals. That's where we caught it. That's where we got to know Mike a little bit. But as of late, he's been doing some music videos for the band of Mice and Men, which if you don't know who they are a awesome metalcore band that I've been listening to for, I don't know,
years.
something close to that, 15. And so he's been doing the music videos, their last 3 for their upcoming album. And so we're going to talk about that. And who better to talk about it with us than one of the members himself, Valentino Arteaga.
What's going on, everyone? How's it going?
Right. Good. Valentino, you go by Tino?
Valentino or Tino, whatever.
Tino. Okay.
Whatever.
Young Fuego.
Yeah, they're both part of my name.
So he is the drummer of Mice and Men, and you've been the drummer like since the beginning, or at least for a long time.
Yeah, since the beginning.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I know there's been some lineup changes here and there, but
yeah, and thank you so much for listening all these years, man. It's we did the math, and we're pushing 16 years as a band, man. We're on album 9.
Yeah,
wow. Absolutely incredible, mind-blowing statistics for a modern metalcore band, for sure.
9. That's wow. Yeah, that's more than one every 2 years.
yeah. It's about one every year and a half is kind of like how we've kind of been doing it, and as soon as one comes out, we're already working on the next one. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. Tour a little bit, get back in the studio.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we've been listening for a long time. I kind of started like listening to metalcore like 2005 probably, and then it's predominantly been like my choice of music mostly.
Awesome. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
That's about the time I started listening to it too.
Start playing it maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I was playing it. I guess it was a couple years before that. I found the music in high school.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. And all I wanted to do after I heard it was figure out how to play it. And I think I'm still doing that to this day.
Okay.
Still learning, still figuring out stuff. And it's a fun art form to be able to create heavy music. And it's something that I think is it's just awesome to partake in, and something that is very like not therapeutic. I don't do it for therapy, but like, it's just something cool that is exciting and fun and always evolving.
Yeah, it's therapeutic for the fans. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And metal, rock, all kind of, and horror kind of come together.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of times. And so like, obviously being a horror channel, we like all the rock stuff. We like the metal stuff. And, once we get deeper into this interview, we're going to be talking about our top 3 Halloween season films.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
So you guys are going to want to stick around for that after the interview. We're also going to go into some of the music videos and talk about the upcoming album. So
Cool.
The first video, well, actually, before we get to that, how did you get involved with doing these videos?
Yeah, so I actually shot a video for Aaron, the lead singer, before I got hooked up with Mice and Men for his other band, Jamie's Elsewhere. That was it was a really fun video to do because it was one of the first videos I was able to do, music video wise, where I actually got to like just kind of have full reign and just do like this weird freaking narrative and story. It was very much like a sci-fi idea, and I just went crazy with it. And Aaron, he in that band, he's more like, he's like, hey, I'm gonna write stuff, I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna show up and perform. And the rest of the band, it's like kind of their thing. And so Aaron showed up, and I think Aaron was like, what the hell is this? Like, what are we doing here? And then I don't know. Aaron and I just totally clicked the night we stayed in this big house before we shot the video. And we partied that night before, and, we stayed up way later than we should have. But all we did was talk about conspiracy theories all night and all kinds of stuff. Like that's like Aaron's favorite thing to talk about is like aliens and stuff. And
Awesome.
but yeah, so like we just totally clicked. And that night, I remember Aaron was like, dude, we should totally talk about Of Mice and Men. And I thought he was just being nice because I was still kind of like starstruck because I've been a huge fan of the band for a very long time. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. But I was like, nah, he's just saying that. He's just being nice. And then after we shot the video, he hit me up. He was like, hey, so I got a meeting set up between us and with Tino and Stu, our manager. And I was like, wait, he wasn't joking? And then I was like, okay. That's so it's kind of how it went, It was like probably the most natural introduction you could get, like where it's like, hey, I worked with you, you liked me, I liked you, let's do something else, So
Right.
It was a really cool way it happened. It wasn't like, an interview and all that. It was just like, hey, you're all right with this. Let's,
Yeah.
you like us, come on over. So it was
I
cool.
love that. It's just more, just organic that way.
Very organic.
The best stuff comes from something like that. It's not like super
we had
business.
Dude, we had some cool conversations, and he kind of got to kind of let us know like kind of what the band means to him and stuff like that, and talk about a lot of his like artistic side of like developing thematic ideas and stuff like that. And whenever we bring somebody on board in like the creative aspect of the band, whether it's like a producer for the album or like a director or something, it really like comes down to if we can vibe with their vision, you know what I mean? And like
Right.
a lot of times we're just so close to the Of Mice and Men project, whether it's an album or music videos or whatever, that we're kind of seeing it through a different lens. And it's nice to bring in some outside input and kind of like some outside ideas when we're doing that. And Mike came through with just a bunch of stuff that we sent him the album early, which we also love doing because we love getting that like early feedback. Like I'm talking, this is beginning of the year. So like this was like really, really early on when we're still really excited to turn it into the label, and then bringing on the other collaborative people to kind of start developing some visual ideas. And Mike really hit the nail on the head, and we liked what he was bringing to the table. And yeah, it's been an awesome process so far, and one that we've gotten some of my favorite music videos out of it, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, the
Cool.
weird thing about it all, like, it's funny how he brings up, like, bringing someone in from the outside in the process. It's so weird because I've been a fan of the band since, I think since I was 19 years old. In 2012, I think is when I started listening to them. So I've been listening to the band, through all the stages of the band. And not only that, but I've been listening to it so much, and I listened to it when I was in the military, when I was deployed. It was like my best friend, when you're away from home and stuff like that. It was what accommodated me, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep listening to this. I'm gonna wake up going to this. I'm gonna go to the gym listening to this. It was literally like my sidekick, and so I felt like I've always known the band. It's such a weird concept. I felt like I've always known the band. I felt like it's like, oh yeah, it's of Mice and Men, and then actually knowing getting to know the band and working with them is so weird. It's absolutely weird. It's strange, just growing up. I remember watching the music videos and, having like a bad day and you pop a song on, things like that. And then now I can just text Tino and be like, hey, look at this meme. It's like super weird.
And we kind of liked that, to be honest. Like that was something refreshing because not that you're not pro, but because you really are. But I mean, like usually we work with people that have been doing it forever and have done every band under the sun. And you know what I mean? Like it's to get that, the fan side of it and the collaborative side and the creative side, we could ask him, so all of Mice and Men's material and videos and everything. And he's, oh yeah, I've studied it. I've seen this. And we were like, hell yeah, cool. What do we need? Because at this point, for our 9th album, we've done 8 before, and it kind of feels like, we've sort of done it all. So it kind of, like there's only so much bands can do with, I think, music videos, and it can be so like mundane, like band in a room performing songs with neon lights, slow-mo genting. You know what I mean? Like just stuff like that. And it can be so boring. And like for us, we're like, dude, everyone knows what we look like when we play. Everyone, like, we're not, it's just like, to us, it gets very mundane. So to have like, we wanted some outside of the box ideas. We really like that he comes from an actual like cinematic background as opposed to like music videos, because like we like videos that are like that kind of take you out of the element of the performance, and you see band members and you see musicians that and love in a different setting than you would normally. And we've been on stages all over the world, and we've been in studios all over the world, but what we haven't done is been in I guess these different cinematic situations, you know what I mean? And to us, that really excited us we're terrible actors, but we're much better musicians, but to do some acting and to do some kind of like work that's outside of what we're used to, we like that challenge. And we're always looking for stuff like that, especially, 9 albums deep. How do we keep it fresh for ourselves? How do we enjoy ourselves while we do this? Let's challenge ourselves. Let's try new things. And Mike really took that and ran with it. And we got some awesome footage out of it and some amazing music videos.
Yeah. Yeah. The videos are awesome.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is Troubled Water. I think that's my favorite song.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, my favorite song and my favorite video also.
Awesome.
The editing was just amazing, and just
The funniest thing about Troubled Water, I'd have to say, is the fact that Aaron had just had a baby. Aaron had absolutely no clue what we were doing until the week of. And it's so funny. I replay this in my head over and over again. Like Aaron, getting the treatment and being like, wait, what? He's like, dude, I've already drowned in a music video. And I'm like, well, you're going to drown again. And it's funny because like, I brought that up and Aaron was like, dude, I don't know if I'm down. And then I was like, don't worry, dude, it's going to get way worse. And he was like, dude, seriously? So he was like, wait, what's going to happen? I'm like, well, you're basically going to be in a condom, and it's going to have blood and guts all over it. And you're going to burst out of it for the initial, it's like the initial, you're going to burst out of it. And he's like, dude, what the fuck? And it was so funny just because like I felt so bad, but I'm like, because I like think about, they've been doing this forever, and like, I've watched all the music videos. In Warzone, he's literally in a bathtub, and he told me the story a million times where like he's in the bathtub, they put like a bath bomb in it to make it turn red and look nasty and dirty. and he actually got that stuff in his nose and had a sinus infection after, and he was like, never again until this video.
Yeah.
So I just replay it over and over again in my head where he's just like, dude. And the funniest thing that he said, I was dying laughing. He was like, dude, I'm not making songs anymore about troubled water, this and that.
No more water.
He was like, yeah. He said, next song's going to be having a good steak and dinner. That's what the song title's going to be. It's gonna be having a steak and dinner. And I was like, hey.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. So no more water titles.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's cool.
Oh,
All right, so we're gonna play a little bit of that song. I thought the intro is it goes so hard.
Yeah,
that we're just gonna do the intro.
Cool.
And we'll listen to some other ones, watch some other ones. But here's Troubled Water. Pull up there it is. Share.
You can't nod your head to that song.
Yeah, totally. That song's got attitude, dude. I love it.
Yeah, it's like the blah at the beginning.
Yeah.
That more bands need to do that.
Totally.
I love that.
That's a metalcore staple, the blah.
Yeah.
But what's unique about this song, and I know I'm talking like as if I'm in the band, but I feel like I've known the band forever. What a lot of fans are like really happy about is the fact that the blah was in the beginning. A lot of bands, it's like a build up to a breakdown, then it's like blah, and then it's like breakdown, or it's at the very end of the song where it's like song, then it's like blah, song's over. So for the blah to happen in the beginning, a lot of fans were like, dude, what the fuck? And you'd never think that they would you would never think that people would really be excited about that, but yeah, they were.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
It launches the song,
Absolutely.
It's part of that, like, okay, well, we're serious already.
As a fan, I was excited about it. I remember when I first heard it, I was like listening, and then I was like that, when I heard the blah. I was like,
you did that at the beginning. What?
Yeah.
Cool. So Tina, what's it like to be a drummer in a metalcore band? Because I mean, I couldn't imagine. Like, I try to play drums on like Rock Band or Guitar Hero or something, and like, I mean, I think,
surprisingly, I'm terrible at Rock Band and or what is it? Guitar Hero drums.
Yeah,
it's seriously awful. I've tried to play it like once, and I was like, I give up. This is too crazy. I mean, dude, it takes a lot of practice, and it's something that you have. It's a labor of love, really. Like there is no shortcut to being a metal drummer. It takes years and years and years of practice, and but it's fun, and it's something that the music has always spoken to me. It's helped me out of so many situations, in the sense of like heavy music itself is such a departure from like actual life, and it kind of helps us understand that. And some of my favorite bands, like I grew up learning all those songs on drums, and I don't know, it's a great outlet for like releasing of energy, and it's fun trying to find new rhythmic phrases and trying to think of drums as, funny enough, a melodic instrument that works with all the other instruments, because it can be so jarring and so rhythmic that it can kind of like take over sometimes. I feel like, especially in the metal world, because the drumming is so technical and it's so in your face and aggressive usually, that it can overpower a lot. And I think through the years, I try and find ways to make the drums sing, I guess, for a certain extent, and like make them feel, and I play them in a more, at least when I'm thinking of it, there is the technical and the aggressive side, but I also try and bring a melodic side to the drums too. And there's some actual choice moments in Troubled Water specifically that I do things like that, where I throw in what I call like tasties, and like little morsels of like, you're going in the rhythm and you hear them in like the verses. I kind of get a little saucy in the verses and do some cool stuff when the vocals stop, because I kind of feel like, oh, there's a spot where I can kind of throw a little sauce, a little hot sauce going in there, type stuff. So it's an instrument that I truly enjoy, and it's fun. it's fun because it kind of develops and changes for each song. And really, with rhythm and music, you could have a totally different drummer take the drums out of the song, have another drummer come in, and they could write something completely different that gives the song a whole different vibe or element of like rhythm. And I like to do that now that this is our third album that we've self-produced. And I really like to do that with a lot of our music. Is I'll write something and then I'll save it because I like it. And then I'll write something totally different. And it still works because, you know, you can kind of interchange rhythm with melody and have it groove differently. And I like experimenting with stuff like that. And because we self-produce, I kind of have free reign to be able to do that. And my like, I send it to the guys and we all talk about like, oh, what about this beat for this part? Or how does this feel? Or what if I like lay more back in the pocket instead of like bako 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 bako? I'll go and then it kind of just gives it a whole new dynamic that I think is really cool. So it's fun, it's exhausting, but it's worth it, you know. And it's like I said before, it's a labor of love, and it's something that I'm sure you ask any metal drummer and they're going to tell you some answer similar to that, you know what I mean? And it's also, I mean, music in general, and I mean, I guess anything that takes practice in general it's a very fulfilling thing when you achieve what you've been practicing so hard to perform, and then you perform it and you kill it and it sounds awesome. And you're like, I did that. There was no shortcut to cheat there. I learned it all and I played it all and nailed it, you know? So I think that's something that's really cool that is not specific to drumming, but it's something that I feel is awesome about drumming, is that when you work hard at it, you will get better at it. It's just, that's just how it goes with it's, because it's a very tactile instrument. It's not like, you're not like shaping chords with your fingers and like trying to learn. You're like stick, drum, hit, you know what I mean? Like in time, like it's a very primal instrument. And I think that's what I like so much about the drums, is it is primal. It is very like, it's kind of in your blood. You just kind of got to get it out there.
It's been really fun to learn those licks too, that like he's talking about, because as a non-musician, when I like specifically the part in the song where earlier in the song where it breaks and it goes, you know, I had this particular vision for that part and I didn't know how he played it. I didn't know how that went. And I had this idea for the bullet time effect, like from 28 years later that we did in this music video where the camera goes and it comes over. And so I had to on the spot learn, okay, this is how Tino plays it when he plays it. Like this is what he looks like. Okay, how do I incorporate that? And it was just so cool knowing that it wasn't just a hi-hat with a snare. It was him literally coming out with both arms and hitting other instruments and then coming in. And so it just made it so much more unique to look at and visually. And it made the bullet time effect way cooler too, because you're coming around and you're seeing everything he's doing. So that's like the perfect example, I feel like, of what he's talking about. At least I'm a fan, you know, being like, oh shit, there was way more involved than that. Just it was, you know, like, oh shit.
Totally. That's awesome. I was really excited for that shot too. When he was like, we're going to do like bullet time sort of like, and I've yet to see 28 years later, which it's on my to watch, especially for like spooky season. And, but when he said like bullet time across, I was like, oh yeah, baby, let's do it. So I love stuff like that. And we'll be the first to like, kind of like let him know like, oh, hey, there's a drum tasty here. Maybe focus on that for the edit or something, you know, because just little things like that kind of pop out. And from musician standpoints, or even from a fan standpoint, sometimes it's cool to get to see that, you know, in an actual like cinematic way, as opposed to just performing the song.
Right.
Yep. There's also the happy accidents too, because there's the one at the very end of the song where it's like dun 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 dun. There's a really cool part where you're hitting the cymbal and the camera comes like from the side and you see your face. You're like, ooh, like you're ready to smack it again.
On the bell.
Yeah, I love that part. And you're like, and then like the camera pulls out and you see your face and you're like, boom. And like that was totally not even planned. You know, that was just performance. All right, hey Tino, go ahead and start performing. And then I'm just coming around getting shots. That shot just like, that's like one of my favorite shots ever.
Totally.
Love it.
There was lots of synergy like that, you know, and it's cool to get to work with somebody who's as passionate as Mike is, who loves what he does. You know what I mean? Because we're the same way. Like, we love what we do. We're so privileged to get to do what we do, and to get to work with somebody who has an awesome artistic vision and who was getting us like stoked. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. And we've gotten to work with some awesome directors and stuff like that. But like I said earlier, working with Mike was really awesome, and we really got some awesome music videos out of it too.
Cool. Yeah, well, so there's this guy that I've watched some of his videos. I can't remember his name. He's a guitarist. He works with Howard Jones, and he put together, because you were talking about how the drums can really change the song. Yeah. He put together like a chorus riff, you know, and then he has like people submitting their drums for that. Yeah. And, you know, then they're going to pick one, you know, for the finished song. And it's really cool to see all the different, you know, how it can really change depending on, you know, and it's a metal song, you know, and so you add those, like you said, the little tasties, it can really stand out, and
of course,
make the song like a little more unique than what maybe you're kind of expecting when you listen to a song like that. Yeah. So yeah, when you were talking about that, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, for sure. So true. Okay, so let's get to the next one. So we've got
video number 2.
Yeah. What do you guys want to listen to? Wake Up or
yeah, we could do Wake Up. That one was a little more straightforward, but still visually just beautiful. That's actually, you know, another one of my favorites. Here we go.
It shows like the range.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
It shows the range, because from Troubled Water to Wake Up, because they're two very different sounding songs. Yeah. And they're on the same album. So I'm really excited to see like the different sounds that this album has, because 2 of 3 so far is just very different.
Dude, you haven't heard shit yet, dude. Fucking wait.
You already heard the album, so
of Mice and Men, the Swiss Army knife of metalcore.
Love it. So yeah, we'll just play the chorus for this one. Let me pull it up here.
This is the Goo Goo Dolls song. So
you could call it. Totally.
Yeah, I got the right one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Big 90s, early 2000s influence on this one.
Yeah.
Something really cool about this song is so when the band handed me over the album for studying purposes, right? I'm jamming it constantly, and this song was unfinished on the version they gave me. Mm-hmm. So that second verse of Aaron singing, that wasn't even in the song. So the entire time I prepared the treatment, wrote the shot list, I literally thought that was just an instrumental, and I liked it. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then it wasn't until I think 2 weeks before, or maybe a week before, I was like, yeah. So, you know, I'm really thinking about the instrumental part of the second verse. And I was like, yeah, I think it'd be really cool if we did this and that. And Aaron was like, wait, instrumental part? Do you have the right song? I was like, what? He was like, dude, there's singing there. I was like, no way. And he sent me it, and I was like, what the? And I got excited because I was like, cool. It's like listening to a new song again and hearing like the added vocals. And it instantly was like, oh, this is so sick. And that's when I came up with the idea for Aaron walking through the hallway. I was like, that'd be such a cool shot to just show Aaron walking with the camera, breaking it from, you know, that performance shot.
Right.
And it would just look so good to kind of like bring the music video somewhere else besides just the band performance and the side profile. So that was pretty funny that happened. I was like, dude,
Yeah. Funny.
And interestingly enough, that second verse was left open because we asked Alanis Morissette to sing on the song.
What?
And she
I thought that
said
was a joke.
no.
That was actually real. I thought Aaron was joking when he said that.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
100%. We asked Alanis Morissette. Yeah,
that would have been amazing.
So I mean,
he missed out.
Alanis,
that
there's still time
if you're
to hop on the remix. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that would have really helped her career. You know, put her on the map. You know,
put her on the map.
We knew it was a reach, but we love her music and her vocals and stuff like that. Like the demo was called Alanis, because it kind of gave us that like 90s Alanis Morissette rock acoustic, like it kind of gave us that vibe. And from day one, we heard her in the song, and we kind of like built it a little bit around that in a strange, interesting way, which you wouldn't really think of when it comes to metalcore. But we never really like, when we're writing and we're making music, we're not putting ourselves in a corner of metalcore. You know what I mean? Like, we're writing music that makes us feel something. And it just so happens that music is usually pretty heavy and very emotive and melodic at the same time. But sometimes we have these songs that are kind of out of left field that are just kind of like a vision, you know what I mean? And especially like with the way that the visuals worked out for this song, it is kind of like a very like, it kind of gives that vibe, I think. And she didn't end up on the track, which there's still time. Alanis, there's still time. When you get on the remix, you know, get it on the what's it called? The re-release. Well, it hasn't even been released, but
the deluxe version.
But it's actually right now, that song is actually crushing radio.
I was gonna say, it sounds like it would be.
We actually just heard that we broke top 20, and it's still climbing. So it's absolutely phenomenal, and we're just so stoked and over the moon that we're able to write all kinds of music that it just kind of makes you feel something. And if it doesn't make us feel anything, we're not putting it out, you know? And so a song like this paired with the visuals and the ideas, and I love all the prism effects that Mike did too. You know, it is very like, it's kind of trippy, you know what I mean? And the song's kind of trippy, and the lyrics are a little bit trippy. And there's just cool elements that I think Mike really captured really well on the visual side that match with the song lyrically and melodically too.
Right.
Something funny. Aaron was in the beginning. Aaron was like, I think that same meeting when I found out there was a second verse, Aaron was like, "Yeah, dude, I kind of just want this to feel like an acid trip, you know?" And I was like, "In a church, okay, all right, got it." But then I thought about it, and I was like, "When have you ever seen anything trippy in a church? You know, in a video?" Like that was just really cool to me. And so I love it when a band can be like, "Hey, I specifically want to see this." Then it's like, "Oh, cool. It's not up to me to come up with the idea. Now I just got to carry out the vision." That was really fun.
Execute it. Yeah, it was cool, really man. Cool. It was such a unique experience getting to do that. I don't think we've ever played in a church before, especially not of that caliber of beauty and historic relevance, you know, in San Francisco and stuff like that. Like it was just a really cool experience getting to do that. And they were so worried about how loud we were going to be, and I don't think we were that loud. So I think we left everything unscathed, and it ended up being just an awesome day to shoot in such a beautiful location.
They actually had like a decibel that we weren't allowed to exceed.
Oh, wow.
So there's like, I don't even remember what it was, but there was like a specific decibel that are like, you guys can't go above, you know, negative 50 dB. And then I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't even know that. And then
do we have a meter that we're measuring?
I'm pretty sure one of the guys had one for sure to make sure that we weren't. So we experience a lot of that when we get into venues, because there's a specific level of decibels that we're not allowed to perform louder than, because it can be detrimental to people's hearing. So we're no stranger to adhering to that. But when it comes to the music videos and stuff like that, like it does kind of affect the way that we're able to execute. And thankfully it didn't affect us that much. And it was a cool experience overall.
Cool.
Yeah, we didn't want to like because so the whole reason why we even shot at that church, obviously it was beautiful, but I was trying to when I came up with the treatment, I was trying to make sure that we had a location that was close to Aaron's home, because his baby was due, I think, within 2 weeks, and it's totally not worth it at all to go, to LA, and then he misses his baby's birth, and that's like, to me, I was like, dude, like I couldn't live with myself if I missed that. And so I was like, hey, how can we choose a place that's amazing but also doesn't sacrifice quality, And the other location that we had for that place that I did a treatment for was this place called the Sea Ranch. And it was this like beautiful cabin that's like in the middle of the redwoods. And so the original video, I was really wanting it to be like on the coast with the redwoods. And I was like, man, it'd be so freaking sick, especially to see Tino freaking jamming out in the forest, like on a drum set. I was like, that'd be so sick. But, of course, like trying to stay closer to home. And also there was another music video, a Mice and Men music video in the past, Feels Like Forever, where you had, a former member on the beach, in the ocean. So I was like, they've already done that. Let's do this. This is like totally different. And, so that'd be pretty cool. So that's how I kind of ended up.
Yeah. That location. Cool. That Alanis Morissette story. That's pretty cool.
I
could hear it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Imaginable logistical nightmare too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's cool. We kind of get creative like that, and it's fun to get to even try, and it was totally a shot in the dark, and she didn't even have to respond. And I don't know if she did. I think it was probably her team or something like. It's not like we DM'd her. We we went about the appropriate ways through the label and everything, because we can't just get somebody to feature on a song. There's red tape and all kinds of stuff, and label clearance and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that one's a cool one and a very special one, and hopefully people that are watching this are hearing it on their local rock radio station.
Yeah.
So, Mike, when you were given the whole album in the early year, were you able to choose the 3 songs, or were they given to you already?
Yeah, I just picked the 3, and the band was like, "Yeah, all right, sounds good, dude." I'm just kidding. No, I wish. I totally wish. But no. So basically they were already having, and Tino could definitely add to this, but they were already having talks with the label, like what songs, they wanted to push. And then the label said, well, we think these ones will be better. And the first one, Aaron actually showed me, he showed me during the Jamie's Elsewhere shoot. And it's funny because he put the phone in my ear, and I was like, holy fuck. I was like, this is going to be sick. And, I won't say anything about it, but it's an extremely heavy fucking song. And I was like, holy shit, this song is going to be so amazing to shoot a video for. And then, like, when it came time, Aaron was like, yeah, actually, we're going to do this song. So this was my intro to, like, larger label politics and, creative differences, things like that. So I was like, oh shit. All right. Time to shift gears. And then, a lot of it was just, label influence, and also the band, like, staying firm on the things they wanted to do. And also buying into the vision.
Yeah. Those discussions happen for quite some time. We kind of storyboard an album rollout, like, and then we'll scrap it, and then we'll try another one, and then we'll scrap it. And then, and it just kind of like everything is a collaborative effort in the band. So we're always kind of like working on ideas and having things and involving the label, because that's why they're there. You know what I mean? They're the pros. We're the musicians. We write the music, but then they're the marketing gurus, and they're the people that have to go out and sell it. You know what I mean? So we kind of talk about all that stuff, and the rollout even changed, like songs change just recently. You know what I mean? We just pivoted on another song that hasn't come out yet. And that's kind of like, it also kind of keeps it fresh and interesting. And we kind of visualize things a certain way. And then when it changes, it's like, oh, well, this is interesting. Like, what will that be like, and what can we do if we do this song instead? And so those discussions kind of are happening and at all times, really. So it's awesome that Mike was able to pivot. And I know that he had already started storyboarding some ideas and doing some cool stuff for that. And it ended up that he's such a pro that, you know, he could shift gears and kind of switch to another idea. And we're really grateful that you were able to do that, Mike, because not all the directors are down for that, because a lot of the times it's not that easy to shift that, you know, when you have a vision in your head about something and then it changes. A lot of times collaborators can get that's a very difficult thing to do. So it was cool that he was able to pivot like that, and we got just even more awesome ideas. He's just a wealth of awesome ideas that we could be like, yeah, that's sick, or maybe not. Maybe let's try something else, you know? And so there was a lot of that, but that's the nature of collaboration. It's the ebb and flow. That's what makes great stuff. That's what makes great art, is ebb and flow, and some challenges here and there, and some roadblocks, and then getting over them and overcoming that stuff. And you get much better work when you're more involved in it and you're making changes and adjustments and stuff like that.
Yeah, the band didn't like my idea of them being naked in a Chuck E. Cheese for a music video. They didn't really like it. I thought
did bring that up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That would have been good for Wake Up, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We wake up and we're like in bassinets. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad dream, right? So
Yeah.
To answer your question, it does what it's told. You know, I get the, you know, the change up, and then it's just change. But every time anything changed, I was like, okay, this is my opportunity to show, you know, how quick I'm able to just, you know, switch gears and adjust and come up with something. And that's the hardest part, I feel like, in this, is just coming up with the idea. I mean, for whatever reason, for these videos, I didn't have a problem coming up with ideas, but typically that is a hard part. And that's why there's such a collaborative effort. And a lot of times, you know, a director is not coming up with the idea, they're just directing it. Yeah. So, you know, for them to be like, hey, we're going to switch to this, you know, all right, cool. I have 2 treatments ready to go, you know, and that was a fun process too. And this is a good caveat, I guess, but for Another Miracle, that was the first one. And it was such a cool process doing that, because I was still starstruck. And I was still like, you know, my heart started racing. Right? Yeah. It was, you know, I was like pretty nervous, and I was also like, you know, I wouldn't say I wasn't confident, but I was like, holy shit, if I fuck this up, like this isn't like bad, you know? And it was just so much pressure, because I was like, holy shit, like one of my favorite bands, and I'm doing the video and I'm coming up with everything. And it was just like, whoa, you know, it was like a dream come true, but at the same time, it was a nightmare, because I was like, oh my God. And then and then also Aaron was like, hey, I'm also going to need that treatment within like the next 4 days. And I was like, are you fucking serious? So I had 2 treatments. I pitched one, me and Aaron talked. And then I was like, last minute, I was like, wait, dude, I have this other idea. And Aaron was like, all right, cool. Yeah. I came with this. I pitched this treatment. Aaron's like, that's the fucking one. That is sick. That's what we like that. And so, it was really fun. Of course, Aaron and I had a Zoom chat. We talked when I did the pitch, and then we just got into talking about aliens and conspiracy theories. So we totally stopped talking about the treatment. But that was so much fun though, because like I could tell when I pitched Aaron the idea, I could see it in his eyes. Like he was like, yes. Like I think he really wanted to see himself in a movie like that. And so I think he got really excited about it.
This one.
Yeah. He was like, whoa, yeah, like I want to do that, you know?
Totally.
So, and that's what I've gotten from these guys a lot, is like I look at them and I see what they get off on, you know, they're vibing with, and they're like, dude, like that sounds fun. I want to do that, you know? To them, it's like really about just having fun now and like doing what they want to do versus, what's the populace going to like? What's the crowd going to like? You're like, no, we want to do what we think is really fun and trying something new. And then, and then cut to, you know, them being taught by a freaking undercover detective how to operate like a SWAT team.
Yeah, man, that music video was so cool. I feel like you could have made an entire movie out of everything that we shot for that. And that was just an incredible experience to even, you know, see the treatment and envision ourselves in those shoes of both the SWAT team and then the time traveling performers or whatever we are in that, like kind of like what Matsui's saying is like that we're looking for stuff that excites us. You know what I mean? Like we've been doing this a very long time and we want to try new things and step outside of our comfort zone and do awesome creative things. So when we saw ideas like that, we really got excited about that. And we're stoked to get to be challenged for that. You know what I mean? And to get to work with some absolute pros in tactical espionage, or I don't even know what you call it. Like I'm so far from that. Like I'm serious. Like I'm such a band nerd. Like I'm a musician. Like I'm so far from the tactical side, but to get to role play in that way was just something real special that we all had a blast doing, and with his ideas and with the team all firing on all cylinders, and everyone was incredibly professional too. And it just felt so awesome to get to do something like that. And then to have the final product be there. I mean, we probably shot at like 5 or 6 different locations. The SWAT gear was on, the SWAT gear was off. The instruments were up, the instruments were off. We're on the roof. We're in the stairwell. Now we're in the thing. And like, it was just, it felt like straight up Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like it was something that like we've never experienced before. And that's what we're all about. You know what I mean? Like is doing something fresh and exciting. And the final product came out so cool. And those, just all the shots and everything is on that music video are larger than life. You know, it's cool to get to create something like that alongside music that is just like an auditory journey, to then have a visual journey as well that pairs with it. And to be so cinematic like that is something that we got really excited with the final product, and it came out just so awesome.
Yeah, another really quick deadline with that one too.
That got turned around in like what, a week or less than
4
a week?
days.
4
days.
I mean, dude, stuff was moving quick, you know, and that's a testament to Mike's professionalism, and I'm sure he got barely any sleep for those 4 days, and there was just so much to edit. Like we shot for 22 hours, I think, like all day long, pretty much an entire day. And there was hours and hours and hours of footage that he had to go through to find the right stuff. And it was just so cool. I was like, dude, how is he going to do this? Like my mind is overwhelmed with how much we shot. And then it kind of all made it in there, like all the coolest stuff that we were like, oh, that was sick. And we kind of knew what it was going to be, but then to finally see it, we were like, wow, I think we had the least amount of notes with Mike on all these music videos than we have in the past. And I think that's because his vision was gelling so well with what our music is, how we see things. And it's because I think he's a fan of the band and heavy music. And the same with us. We're a fan of our own band. Like we love the music we write. We wouldn't be putting out the music if we weren't fans of it. And we love this music too. Like not just our band, but the whole genre in general. And heavy music is something that we're passionate about. And so it's cool that we were able to all come together with that and to create something that is as cinematic and awesome as Another Miracle music video and the other ones also.
Yeah.
I think everyone's had that dream too. Yeah. Everyone's had that dream where they're like, man, if I made the music video for this band or for this song, like this is what I would do, you know? So that was just really cool.
Yeah. So I was, I don't know, this was, months and months ago, but I was on Instagram and, I followed Mike on there and I was like, what the hell is Mike doing? with all the shots that I was seeing, like from your videos and stuff. This was while you guys were shooting. Like the drone shots and all this. I'm like, dang, Mike, what happened? You're going crazy. And so I had to like look into it because I'm like, what is he doing? And then I saw the hashtag OMNM. And I was like, what is that? So I had to look, look in the comments, kind of, figure out what's going on. I was like, oh, Mice and Men, what? Mike, look at you.
Well, because I
so
hadn't
cool.
announced it yet. I didn't even announce that I was doing a video because if it sucked, I wanted to give the band a really easy way to slide out. You know,
that's hilarious.
Like I don't want to announce it, and then I just totally shit the bed, and it's like, oh yeah, you know that one thing. Yeah, no,
never mind.
That was I was a crew, you know.
Yeah, man. It was absolutely far from it, dude. You hit 3 home runs. Like you're 3 for 3,
Thanks.
bro. It was
I appreciate
awesome.
it.
Great experiences all around, and we all enjoyed it. You know, I speak on behalf of all of us and the team too. You know, like your professionalism and everything has been awesome to work with and awesome to collaborate with. You know, and all the visual stuff has been just really spot on with what and in line with what we enjoy creating and what we like to see paired with our music. So, yeah, man, it came out really awesome.
I probably annoy the hell out of the band, but like every time I show up, I always I literally will say, I'm just grateful to be here. You know, I'm lucky to be here. I'm grateful to be here. And there's not a day that I don't show up thinking I'm lucky to be here, you know? And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. Like, hey, dude, you're lucky to have what you have, you know? And I don't ever forget that. And, you know, it's just, that's all part of the vibe and the atmosphere too.
Yeah, man, that's the way we are too, man. It's all about showing gratitude and showing love and living a life where you can express those feelings and to give credit where credit's due and to give appreciation to those people that do that, because it is important and to be able to have this where we can see it and visualize it and have it happen. And, you know, with being a camera person too, you know, you're capturing moments, you're capturing our life happening right then and there. You know, we were kind of talking about it at Aftershock, like you're capturing these magical moments for us. And I think at the same time, when we're performing for the music videos and we're doing that, you know, like this is a part of our life. This is not just a product that we're trying to sell. This is our life right now, you know, and this is the music that we're writing. We write, and for our music, we write about our lives. You know, we write about the human experience. What you're hearing is what Aaron has felt and what we all feel and what we talk about all this. And we're very communicative with each other and collaborative with each other. And that's why I think alternative music and metal music and underground music, like that it has that community, because we talk about real shit, you know, like we're going through all these things and we're experiencing them, and we're writing this music to share those experiences with other people in hopes that it can resonate with somebody else like that, and to be able to capture it on record, to then be able to capture it in video, to be able to share that with other people and to share these cool ideas. That's honestly what it's all about. And you've gone above and beyond with the gratitude and everything. And we're like that too, man. Like we're just happy to be here, and we're very lucky. We're very privileged, and we're very fortunate that our fans have loved and supported our band for so long. You know, Danny, yourself included, and Joel, and, you know, thank you guys for listening. It really is something, it's powerful, man. The creativity is a very, very powerful tool, and you gotta match that with gratitude and love and appreciation. And it's just, it's something that's part of the human experience that I think is amazing to be able to get to do that and to have the privilege and to have such amazing fans that listen to our music so much that we're able to create this art for a living, you know, and then to be able to share it and be 9 albums deep and still speaking the same language of our fans and meeting brand new ones and getting brand new ones that are coming out to our shows for the very first time and wanting to see the people that they've seen on YouTube and to be like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, and to us, that's just mind blowing, you know, because we're musicians and fans of music first and foremost. All the rest is just an incredible byproduct of people supporting and people showing gratitude and love and appreciation for our art. You know what I mean? And so we're going to give that back, and Mike gives that back all the time. And, you know, you guys having us on the podcast does that as well.
Yeah, I saw some videos of you guys at Aftershock. You guys had a massive crowd.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. Awesome. Yeah, seriously awesome, dude. It's still mind blowing, man. I still get nervous before going on stage, especially to crowds like that. But once you kind of like take a breath and receive that energy, you're ready to give it back, and then it's then it's a kind of a tennis match. You know what I mean? And it's not in a non-competitive way. Maybe tennis isn't the right thing.
You're playing catch.
Yeah, playing catch. Absolutely. Definitely.
You don't want to drop the ball.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into another miracle. We're just going to play the chorus here, but you can kind of get an idea of what this video is. When you go to the actual video on YouTube, you're going to want to do that because it's a really cool video. It tells a story for sure. So here we go. Pull that up.
Is my drum tech. Shout out to my drum tech and best friend Ian States. My right hand man holding it down, my technician for drums. It was so much fun to get to include him in that part of the music video, and it was just nonstop laughs the whole time, which is funny, you know, like the atmosphere behind filming a super serious cinematic music video was like, it was just all laughs all day. Everyone's having a blast. We're all just cracking jokes and having a good time. And the fact that we got to include him in that was also really special. And he was also he's the drummer of Jamie's Elsewhere as well. So he got to shoot with Mike before we did. So it was kind of like a little Easter egg in there too, which was kind of fun to get to put.
That's cool to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun because we were having fun and we wrapped early.
Yeah.
Like that never happens. That never ever happens.
Yeah.
But that's funny Tino says that because like I remember laughing a lot at the lab. And I don't know why, but there was just so many funny things that happened. And I think what made that process from a technical standpoint easier too is that place was already pre-lit. All the lighting and stuff in there is like cinema quality, tube lighting and things like that. So they have that stuff all ready for you, and it's nice. You just show up and you know you get your scenes ready to go. And of course I looked at the pictures and I had it like ready to go, but we had that time to just kind of fuck around and have fun and make fun of each other and, you know, do goofy stuff. And then that also gave me time to like, oh, hey, this would be really cool. You know, started getting video of like the different devices and stuff. And it just like, it made it so enjoyable when we could just goof off and then have fun with it. And then watch Ian. I think we had like 4 takes of Ian getting clocked.
Yeah, we kept being like, do it again, do it again, do it again. And then there was even like a gag reel where didn't we do like a crazy blood splatter? Like it was just like over the top. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I had the VFX guy who we hired for the video. There was like a certain amount of videos that like we could do. And I was like, fuck it, dude. Hey, put blood coming out of his face when he hits him. And he's like, all right. So there's like literally a take of the video that I have on my laptop where he butt stalks him and you just see blood splatter and then it gets on the camera.
Yeah, and with the Wilhelm scream too.
Yeah,
That was so funny.
Yeah, the Wilhelm scream was like a joke.
We did another cool one too, where I busted through the door on the roof and then played the final breakdown in the riot gear.
Yeah,
which was
so
way harder than I thought. I was like, yeah, I'll nail it. And then I got up there and I was like trying to move my arms, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
It was so sick.
Actually, I never dropped that, so I'm gonna have to drop that soon. Maybe when the album's out.
When you said it was harder than you thought, I thought you meant like it was sick or like it went hard.
It did. It definitely did.
It totally did.
But it was also way more difficult because I had those like tactical boots on and like I was just all strapped up. And normally I have a little easier clothing to be able to maneuver in.
What that remind me of is like, what that remind me of is when you played like those old school like Spider-Man games and you can change your costume. Yeah. That's what that reminded me of. It reminded me of like a video game where you're like, fuck it, I'm going to play the SWAT team guy. And then, you know, it's like, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, that's what it was. Man, we just had such a blast. It was such a cool and unique experience. You know, it was fun. And it was something that we haven't really experienced in music video shoots. And I think that's a testament to the professionalism and the way that Mike shoots and just how we were gelling and the synergy there was just awesome. So, and I think that's why the videos came out so great too, because we had fun doing it. And when you're having fun, you're passing the time real quick. We wrapped super early. We got everything we needed. And I think it was because we were just having such a good time and just nailing everything because it felt comfortable, even though it wasn't. But if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it was very different to what we're used to, but like it still felt comfortable enough for us to get to enjoy it. And I think you can kind of see that in the final products.
It's all
you
about
gotta
planning.
have the right energy too.
Totally.
With each other. And,
absolutely.
That's
when you plan well,
product.
It gives you that time to like have fun versus if you don't plan well, then you're freaking out, stressing out what to do the day of, So when we have it planned out, we're like, okay, we know we have to get these shots. We have these shots that are it'd be okay to, or it'd be awesome to have shots, but don't need to have shots. And then, if we're down, we have all our shots we need. We have an hour left. We're like, you know what? Screw the nice to have shots. Let's fuck around. And that's what we did on the rooftop, which was really fun. We had like a few shots where I was like, we could get that, but then we said, fuck it. Let's put me in a wheelchair and just push me around in a circle around the band. And so that's what that 360 shot was. I was on a wheelchair and we had a crew guy just push me. Originally, it was going to be a shot of each band member. And I was like, dude, why don't we let's just do this. So he pushed me around. And then I'm like, cool. Now we have like 2 hours left. And then that's when Tino was like, dude, I want to fucking do this. And so we went and shot that. And so the planning,
seeing that DIY stuff was just so cool for us too, because it's so practical, like, why wouldn't you, like it, and it's cool. I think I'm pretty sure all of us in the band have done some sort of video work in school back in the day, like in high school and stuff, like, just because it's a cool creative medium that when we were growing up, it's, having cameras was like kind of our era where it was very like consumer level cameras that you could just go and film stuff with that wasn't cinematic, but just kind of learning the ropes and video editing and whatnot. So to get to see a lot of these practical tricks that Mike brought, we were like, oh, we love that, man. That's so cool. And ingenuity, like at its finest. So yeah, it was cool getting to see that for sure.
It's funny because Mice and Men has worked with like some pretty fantastic directors. Like one that I really like is Max Moore, who did the Unbreakable video, I believe it was. And like these guys are big directors and big filmmakers. And in hindsight, looking back, I'm surprised. I was like, fuck it, let's just do the wheelchair thing. Because I'm like, these guys have seen some legit filmmakers and I've worked with some legit guys. And then they're like, then they have this guy fucking on a wheelchair. and I'm sure like as a band, they're like, fuck, did we just take a step back in our careers? Like this guy's in a wheelchair, Thinking about it in hindsight, that's what I'm thinking about. But
we're all about that, whatever makes a shot. We produce our own albums now. And so we know that we know what goes on behind the veil, you know what I mean? And we know it's all smoke and mirrors. We know that all that stuff is possible to be able to be done just on your own. If you figure it out yourself and how you want to achieve something similar, you can do it on your own. And I think that that's a really cool thing that if there are any filmmakers watching or that love that, like, do that DIY shit. You know what I mean? Take those chances, try it out, do it. Don't tell everybody right away that you did that. But then when they ask, let them know. Like, dude, some of our songs were even recorded on audio interface, $100 audio interfaces. You don't need a $30,000 studio board recording into that to get that sound. You can have $100 little rig that gets you something that works. Like if it works, it works. Like it's not the tools, it's the person using the tools. So like, you can do anything you put your mind to. And if you're able to figure that out early enough, you can start to develop your own methods of how you do things that are different from everybody. And people might look at, or like other directors might look at you weird, or musicians might look at you weird with you doing it, but hey, it works. You're getting something that's quality in it. And it's about capturing what you're trying to do the most effective way that's within your means. Not everybody has a lot of money to be able to be creative, but you don't need a lot of money. You just need the vision and you'll find a way to execute it and you'll figure it out. And I think that's something cool that working with Mike kind of reminded us when it was him and the homies just rolling up with a truck full of gadgets and gizmos and stuff that wasn't just like cranes and other things that we've used on the set and like, crazy cameras and stuff. Like it was all very modest, and something that we were like, wow, okay, this is sick. Like we love that. And sure, we're like, we've shot major budget music videos before, and which utilizes major crews and major gear and technology and all kinds of stuff. But some of our best music videos, I feel like, were shot using a wheelchair. Like, like, come on, like, that's just so sick. And that's all it takes is just a cool idea, and figure out an interesting and a appropriate way to execute it, and you'll get that shot.
Yeah. What inspired me too? Yeah, what inspired me too with that too is Oregon McGinnis, one of my favorite music video directors. If we're talking like music videos, he shot one of the earlier Bad Omens music videos using a skateboard as a dolly. And yeah, I'm like, dude, that's so insane, because if you think about it, it's like, what's the difference? Besides the few $1,000s you're paying for an actual dolly track, it's like, or just put it on a skateboard,
And to be fair, I'll bet those dollies use skate bearings straight up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They probably use the same smooth moving skate bearings, and it's like, use what you got. Yep. Make that movie. Don't no excuses. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same with music, it's the same with movies. It's kind of the same with anything. Like, no excuses. Like, make it happen. Yep. You could do it. You'll figure out a way.
Yep. Do more with less.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
Sorry. Me and Danny used to be roommates back in the day, and we used to make rap songs.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
We used the Guitar Hero mic and Danny's computer to like.
Yeah, because it's a USB mic. So
yeah.
Like, it was clean. Use that. Plug it in.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, the acoustic guitar for Wake Up was recorded with this $45 Snowball USB microphone.
I got a Snowball.
What the heck?
Yeah. You don't need the smoke and mirrors, dude.
Oh,
you can make it happen with anything, dude. And that's just use the tools that you have. Don't let the tools like hinder what you hear in your head or what you see in your mind. Like, you make it happen. Make it happen.
Yeah, and that reminds me of, we're a horror channel, and we love the more basic practical effects. We don't need all the crazy computer generated stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'd rather see the real deal practical effects, and the same thing, right? And doing the the wheelchair thing, I think that's a great story. But it reminds me of, like, in Halloween, when they move, you have to do that one pan shot at the beginning from like Michael's point of view, and things like that. You can just do it.
Yeah,
just do it.
Totally.
Don't let these types of things hold you back. Like when we first started the podcast, I was like, all we need is, a computer. Like, you just need a laptop. And so I got a really cheap laptop, and because they have mics in them, so you could just do it that way. Find a free software. Boom.
Shout out Reaper.
Yeah. Now we're doing more stuff with video and things like that. But anybody can do a podcast. Super.
And your podcast is growing too, man.
Yeah.
I'm still hooked in. I still notice it, and the podcast is definitely growing. So
I'm
super happy to see it.
We're getting to the point of getting fully monetized. So
awesome. Congrats, guys.
Maybe we'll push you over the ledge after this.
Let's
maybe. Get all the Mice and Men fans.
Totally. Absolutely. Well, it's the perfect time to talk scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's spooky season. All the movies and stuff. You guys got to do all the reviewing, and hopefully everybody checks out the newest Troubled Water music video, because it's kind of like sci-fi horror nightmare.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So the new album comes out in November. What's the date?
November 14th.
November 14th. Okay. So make sure you guys, you can start downloading the singles right now on Apple and Spotify. Make sure you're going to go check this out. If you like their music, they, like he said, Tino said, they have 8 other albums. So They got plenty of music for you to dive into. And if you like this, you'll like their other stuff too. Because this isn't like some crazy different, genre they're doing. They're a metalcore band.
Yeah,
if you like that music.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we 8 albums full of there's something for everybody on all the albums, really. And it's I love a good deep dive, you know what I mean? And I'm sure some audiences and stuff like that will enjoy that as well, just to go in and find some cool new music and stuff you might not have heard before. And much like anything else too, share it with your friends, tell some friends about it and come out to a concert. We'll have some more tour dates announced for 2026. And fans can find the album Another Miracle out November 14th on Century Media Records. And you can check out our tour dates at ofmicetickets.com and follow us on social media at Of Mice and Men.
Cool. Nice. All right, now let's get into the horror stuff. Real quick. We're each going to give you 3 Halloween season films that are our favorites for this time of year. So let's start with Tino, since you're brand new.
Okay, brand new.
Let's hear it.
All right. I thought about it, and I feel like one of they're not the main ones, because I feel like the main ones are like, you got your Halloweens, you got your Freddy Krueger. I mean, those are bangers, of course. Yeah. But I want to start with one that was an insane movie that blew my mind when I saw it. I've done a lot of traveling in my life on tour and off tour. And the movie The Descent was a psycho one where they find some old ruins. I'm Peruvian, so I've been to like Machu Picchu. I've been to Tikal in Guatemala. I've been to the Temple of the Sun. I've been to a lot of like older ruins, and I've gone swimming in cenotes, which are rivers in caves and stuff like that. And when I watched The Descent, I was terrified, dude, because I was like, dude, I've seen stuff like that. No, obviously not like that, but like, I've been places like that. And I thought, oh my God, what a terrifying thought that there could be something there that is just that insane. Yeah. And then, so that one's one of my favorites. One of the scariest movies that I saw in a very, very long time was The Conjuring. That one was, that one really sent me through a loop where I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen anything this scary. That was like the first time I was really, really shocked by a movie. And I didn't even feel like it was that like crazy over the top. It was just like the headspace it put your mind in with it. So I like the cerebral horror of that.
Yeah,
that's James Wan. He's very good at that.
Yeah. I got to check out more of those movies for sure, or more of his movies too.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of the better horror directors of the last 20 years.
Oh, cool. Okay,
30 years.
I don't follow a lot of horror movies, but I do try and watch them. I did recently watch Bring Her Back, which was pretty insane. Not my favorite. Not one of my favorites, but I did recently watch that. I was excited when I saw it come to streamers. And then I got to shout out one of the sickest collabs ever, Queen of the Damned, right? You know what I mean? Nice. With the soundtrack.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, all the metal song soundtrack. I mean, Deftones was on it, Korn was on it, Static X.
Atreyu was too.
Yeah, Atreyu. I love that. A movie that has an incredible soundtrack. I miss that. I don't feel like that's as they don't do that as much, and I wish they would. Directors, hit up Of Mice and Men. We want to write music for movies.
Yeah.
We've written 9 albums. What more do you need? Let's write some scary music. Or let's write for any movie, really. But
a lot of the bands I listen to today is because of the Freddy versus Jason soundtrack. Yes. That's how I discovered Stone Sour. That's how I discovered Slipknot. That's how I just moshed at Chimera at Aftershock. Yeah. That's how I discovered them. Who else? I think who else was on it? Hatebreed was on that album.
Yeah.
I like as a 10 or 11-year-old kid, I literally discovered all those bands on that album.
Yeah,
so
and that's just so cool, and I love that. I love when the music can help tell the story a little bit, and they kind of feed off of each other, and you kind of get the vibes past the movie. You know what I mean? And the movie it's kind of like just I don't know how inspired the tracks were of. I'm sure some of the bands wrote the songs for the movie. But that one's just like a classic that has just so many bangers on the soundtrack that like it goes hand in hand with it so well. And I love a mashup like that, like a pairing with that.
That's Freddy versus Jason, Queen of the Damned, those are great examples of metal meeting horror.
Saw did that too. I think they had some pretty killer soundtracks.
They had Aiden was on that soundtrack. Remember that?
Wow, that's a deep cut. Aiden.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I think Scream 3 also had a pretty huge soundtrack.
Yeah, Creed. They had Creed.
Yeah, they had Creed.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Whoa there.
I'd love to see more. I'd love to see more of that in the darker and with now all these streamers and stuff like that, and the movies being so accessible. It should go hand in hand with the music a lot more, and it could cross-pollinate even better in the modern era where the music is the music videos and the music videos are the music and the movies and everything like that. Like, I think that could be something that's really sick that I think a lot of directors are missing out on, or maybe I don't know, but there's just so much money thrown around, like give it to the label and like, let's make some soundtracks, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I miss soundtracks for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, your turn.
So I was thinking about it when he was talking. Tino, you freaking killed it. Like, I don't know how you talk like that. You just got it. It's like you like rehearsed that, man. So that was good.
I'm just riffing, dude.
Honestly, the first movie that came to mind, that I was like, okay, it's not like a like he was saying, like a big banger. It's not like of course, is Evil Dead. And I'm talking the original 1978 or whatever,
OG.
1979 OG Evil Dead, where you can see, like cast and crew in the background, like
talking about that movie. Practical stuff.
Exactly.
That's a good example.
Yep. Yeah. I remember when I first saw that, I think I was in high school when I first saw it. I remember being by myself. I think I was at my grandma's house or something, and I remember watching it, being like, "What the fuck is going on in this movie?" And it was like coolest thing ever. And then, man, what would number 2 be? Man, that's tough. I watched so many horror movies, and I have for a while. But if I had to think about like one that I will like kind of go back to, here, what I will say is Talk to Me is one of the most recent horror movies that I was like, damn, this is good. I feel like more recently it's been kind of hard to spook me. It's been kind of hard to get me scared, but that movie I was like, what the fuck? Especially when the little brother.
I had to look that up. I want to see that one. That's on my list.
Okay, I won't talk anymore then.
That's on my list. I saw.
Oh my god.
I saw a clip for that, and I was like,
I
wasn't sure if it was the same movie, but hell yeah. That one's on my list to watch. That just came on streamers too. So
it's the Philippou brothers. They're the same writers and directors of Bring Her Back. This is their first one that they made, and it was like a hit, extremely low budget hit. They shot it in, I think it was Australia or New Zealand, where they're from. But amazing. You will love it. It's completely different from Bring Her Back. Yeah, it's way different vibe. I won't say anything anymore, but there's some imagery in that movie where you'll be like, what the fuck?
Cool. I want to see that.
But sure. So Talk to Me. And if I just had to throw out a number 3, honestly, even though it's like one of the most popular bangers, I feel like it's kind of fell off, amongst the newer generation. It's Nightmare on Elm Street. Just watching that movie, I feel like Nightmare on Elm Street is now kind of like a cult. And it's so weird saying that because like growing up, that was like, the big, scary movie that, everyone's seen like next to like Exorcist and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, if you watch like the original Nightmare on Elm Street now, it feels very cult Like it feels almost like an Evil Dead now.
Right.
Yeah, and like
it was low budget. It was low budget. It pretty much launched New Line Cinema.
And it launched Wes Craven.
Awesome.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that movie, New Line probably wouldn't be a company right now.
That's right. It's
really
the house
built.
that Freddie built. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie has inspired me a lot too. I watched that movie I think when I was 7, and I don't know, something about the movie just like captivated me, and I loved the imagery. I loved like Freddy as a character. I loved the whole like dream and nightmare sequences, and it was a huge influence for my first short film, and like everything about it. It was like in the movie, I felt like I was like, you could literally do anything in this movie because they're in their dreams. And that was so cool about it. And then just the way that they didn't show Freddy too much, so it made him scary. It was kind of like the Jaws idea where they don't show the shark as much, so it makes it scarier. That's probably my number 3. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that box in Blockbuster. My mom worked next to a Blockbuster. She's a dental hygienist, and I would go and hang out in Blockbuster like all day while I'd like beg her to take me to work with her so I could go sit in Blockbuster and look at all the different movie cases. Cause back in the day it was like, you could go see all that. And I remember hanging out in the horror section a lot, cause I wasn't allowed to watch those movies when I was young. It wasn't until I was a teenager that I saw like really any horror movies. But I vividly remember looking at that box and just thinking, oh my God, what is in this? You know what I mean? Like I'll never see this. But like I looked at the little pictures and I just remember like I vividly remember the cover and the back and the images, and just everything about it was like so crazy to me and so foreign. And I was just thinking like, what is this movie even gonna be like if I watch it? Like, you know what I mean? And it piqued my interest from a young age. And I think that there's something, you know, that level of storytelling can do. And I miss that with the Blockbusters and record stores. And I mean, record stores are still around, but everything's online now, you know, and it's just a little bit different seeing it. And you could see it online and be like, oh, that looks scary, I'll watch that. Kind of similar, but there's just something about that I remember from my childhood holding that and being like, this is a ticket to somewhere I do not want to go, but like I want to see what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
Well, me and Joel, we worked at Hollywood Video for years together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we've always we've always talked movies, and that's what kind of got us to do this. We're like, oh, we talk movies anyways. Might as well record it and see if anybody cares what we say.
Totally. Well, what are your guys's then? Because I know you guys are gonna have some sick cuts for sure.
You go first, because I wrote 6 down. I'm not gonna say them all, but just in case mine were, and I have a feeling 2 of them are on my list that you have. So
So I went, you know, these aren't my like top favorite. These are more like Halloween season type movies. So the first one is called Hell House LLC.
I haven't seen that. I need to see that.
Yeah, it's
someone told me to watch it.
Yeah, it's a whole franchise now. There's like 5 or 6 of them. It's, you know, under the radar. It's getting more popular these days, but it's a found footage film of a group of people who are setting up this haunted house attraction for the Halloween season. And it's found footage, so you got a cameraman kind of documenting everything. And the stuff that happens throughout those couple of weeks leading up to the premiere, the opening, and something like really bad happens at the opening. So it's like, that's like the beginning of the movie. And then it shows you kind of like how it came to that.
Wow,
it's
cool.
like a found footage mockumentary because they have like little interviews of like friends of the people, and it seems legit. Like the way that it's done seems like this actually happened.
Cool, love that.
And so it's my favorite, one of my favorite Halloween time films, and I'm like, I want to watch that tonight.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna finally watch it.
Yeah, I'm getting ideas. That's why I want to hear your guys' now, because I got a little list going.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's if you have Shudder, which is like a streaming service,
Right.
it's on there.
Cool.
And then the next one will be the original Halloween. That's my favorite horror film of all time. So, and it's Halloween time. Honestly, I wouldn't even say the first one has the best Halloween season feel. I would say the fourth one. The fourth one. No, well, that one does too. That one definitely. But I like Michael Myers. I gotta put him in there. But the fourth one feels most like Halloween to me. The first one, if you know the history of it, they actually filmed it like in the spring or the summer, and they had to bring leaves other places to like spread out around the grass and stuff to make it feel more fall. But yeah, it doesn't feel as much fall as the fourth one. So but yeah, Halloween franchise, you can't go wrong. And then my number one is Trick or Treat.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, the it's anthology style, but it's all on Halloween night. You get kind of everything. You get some good horror, but you get some like goosebumps kind of feel with one of the stories, and then you've got this iconic horror character now, Sam. He's everywhere.
My kid has a Sam doll. I'm like,
there you go.
Oh wow.
It's so weird because that came out when we were working on Hollywood Videos, like 2007 or 8 or something. And we had like one copy, and it was like nobody cared about this movie. And over the last 5 years or so, it's become this cult thing, and they're talking about doing a sequel now. And Sam has, he's all over at like Spirit Halloween, and like people are dressing up and stuff. And it's like, where were you guys like 15 years ago?
Same thing happened to Evil Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a crapshoot.
Yeah, and that's the thing with, I think, art when it's made. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like good art will get its flowers. There's no rush for that. You know what I mean? Like. And I think a lot of times, like when you're creating something, or from directors to musicians to whatever, you don't do it because you think people are gonna connect with it. You do it because it needs to be made. You know what I mean? Like, and I think good art finds its way into people's hearts at the time it's supposed to. And I think that's something that's cool, that with a lot of these older movies, that they kind of come back around later on, and they become these cult, because they are special, because there is something special about them that makes them more popular now than they were maybe when they came out or whatever, because it's just good art,
Sometimes it's just the timing.
Totally.
It's just like that kind of thing isn't like in right now, but later on someone's going to find it, and it's, especially with the internet, people are going to spread it. And then we get some random movie from the early 2000s that's now very popular in 2025. So
totally.
Yeah.
All right, Joel, your turn.
All right. Well, that's why I wanted to go last, because Trick or Treat was on my list. So
okay. There you go.
And I thought this one was going to be on yours too, which is going to be Haunt from 2019. It takes place on Halloween night. And it's about a group of friends who go to a extreme haunted house where they had to like sign liability, like they had to sign stuff to even enter. And things start happening inside the haunted house. So it's a slasher.
Yeah, it's like a slasher. The haunted house is like out in the boonies,
middle of nowhere.
So it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's like whenever I watch that movie, I'm like, this is something I totally would have done. I would have been one of those people that got killed, because I would have totally wanted to go to a place like that, especially if you're out, Halloween night partying with your friends, costumes and all that, and we see this random haunted house attraction. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to do that.
I would have until you had to sign liability, like. And
I still would have signed it. I would have signed it. They took their cell phones. I would have given them my cell phone. I would have been down.
They had a cool like a hotel where I grew up in San Diego that was like floors of a multi-floor haunted house where you had to sign one of those waivers. And I was like always too terrified to go, but I had a couple friends that swore they went. I don't know if they did because this was pre like cell phones with cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I would sign a liability waiver to go in. I did go to the on the Haunted Queen Mary tour out in Long Beach, California, which was really, really cool. And my wife did get clocked by some swinging something in the head that we had to like kind of like pull her aside. And we were like, oh man, like, oh, I felt so bad. She was okay though. But it was a little bit more of like a physical haunted house, which then was kind of like I don't think we're going to do something like this ever again. But it was cool at the time up until that point.
Yeah.
They're like, it was a ghost. Like, shut the fuck up.
Like, whose ass do I gotta beat?
It was a ghost, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
It's haunted.
All right. My next one is going to be a movie called Cobweb. Another one that has a very really cool like Halloween feel to it.
Yeah.
It should have been released in theaters. It was a streaming movie for some reason.
Yep.
Starring
Anthony Starr.
Yeah, Homelander from The Boys. And yeah, it's about a little boy who like hears things in the walls, and what it actually turns out to be is something way more like sinister and
go watch it. So good.
And, yeah, it is really good.
I met the writer at a film festival.
Cool.
My film You're on Your Own Kid screen at this festival in Seattle, and I remember I was hanging out with this guy and we're just talking. He was like very eclectic. He was wearing like a fur coat with no shirt on under, and I was like, this guy's weird. This seems like a person I want to talk to and get to know. So I was talking to him, and he was super cool. And he was like, yeah, dude, I'm like, so what are you doing now? He's like, oh, you know what? After I wrote Cobweb, and I was like, wait, you wrote Cobweb? He was like, yeah, I wrote Cobweb. I'm like, dude, no way. Yeah, and I thought it was a lie. And then like I looked it up and I'm like, holy shit, this guy actually wrote Cobweb. So we like follow each other on Instagram and stuff, but he's super talented guy. I think he's from like New York or something. But very talented. And I was like, it made me like the movie more because I met him, but I was like, dude, that's crazy. But the ending, Tino, you're not going to see it coming. You're going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, totally changed.
I love that.
Yeah. You're like, what the hell?
I looked him up. He wrote the most recent Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
That actually makes sense. Makes sense.
All right.
And that's about all he's done so far. So he's 2 for 2 as far as I'm concerned. So, and my last one is gonna be I'm gonna go to the 90s on this one, late 90s, but Sleepy Hollow is my this came out in 1999.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp,
a good one.
Christina Ricci, Headless Horseman. So
yeah.
I got the flu watching that movie when I was a kid, so I haven't been able to watch it since because every time I watch it, I think of having the flu. It's weird. I don't know why.
Really makes you sick.
Yeah. It's a good movie though.
So yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us today, Mike and Tino. It was a lot of fun.
So much for having us. Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Looking forward to the album. Mike, looking forward to whatever you got coming up. I know you were talking about some horror shorts that you're going to be working on. So we'll keep in touch and
for sure.
And we'll have you back on when we can talk about those a little more.
I'm excited.
Cool.
So we figure out what the hell we're gonna do.
All right, guys. Have a happy Halloween. And this has been ScareTalk.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Tight.
Take care, everybody.
All right.
Bye.